Actually, the album cover is going to be different in the U.S. and in Canada, I believe. The cover is a girl's ass. There's two different album covers, you know, like in different parts of the world. And in Canada, I don't think it's that ass shot. I think it's a different shot of some sort of scientific the diagram with a Big Bang. It's the Big Bang Theory.
The Strokes were so caught up in the frenzy and excitement from the buzz circulating around their music that they took the initiative and headed into the studio to cut their debut album. The Is This It album was put together quickly and spontaneously with producer Gordon Raphael. It was recorded at Transporter Realm Studio, a sub-basement studio off Avenue A in Manhattan, where the air was blue with cigarette smoke and 3 pictures from a Victoria's Secret catalogue were taped to a cabinet for creative inspiration. But this attempt to capture the power and immediacy of live performance was not without its shortcomings and difficulties. By Casablancas' own admission, the recording process proved to be a painful nightmare. The band had only a short period of studio time booked, which meant they had to concentrate their energies for 10 hours every day in the studio, sometimes until 5 or 6 a.m. It took its toll on the group both mentally and physically. The band found a working rhythm during the recording and latched onto it, refusing to let go or become distracted. They alternated the sessions with a tour of Philadelphia. Gentles and Travis speculated on the appeal of their rock to the Total Request live masses and cringed at the mere mention of other hyped New York outfits such as Fire Eater, who'd come and gone in a flurry of vacuous PR hyperbole. Trailed by the top 10 success of the hard-to-explain New York City Cops single in the UK and released in Australia on July the 16th as a limited edition for 2 weeks only, Is This It was finally unleashed in August 2001, entering the charts at number 2. It received a release in the US on October the 9th on RCA, to whom the group signed upon completion of the album. The group made it clear that they weren't interested in doing promo videos for their songs, and RCA was the only label willing to accommodate that level of integrity. The album reached number 1 on CMJ's Core chart in the US and attained gold status, shifting over 600,000 copies. In the UK, it sold over 1 million copies, effectively bridging the gulf between hardened rock indie listeners and casual record buyers. Is This It was met with rave reviews on both sides of the Atlantic, but particularly in the UK, where the group's success was reinforced by a sold-out 16-date tour. Scalpers and touts were asking for as much as £200 for tickets at the British shows. NME were quick to proclaim the group as New York's most exciting in 25 years. Shout argued that the debut contained some of the finest garage rock since the Velvets or Television, and Now magazine hailed the Strokes as the real deal. Mojo pinpointed the band's appeal in terms of strong tunes and a charismatic singing voice. Vice magazine proclaimed perfection, and National Post simply asked, "What's not to like?" Toronto Sun asserted that you couldn't dream up a better band if you possessed a master's degree in Velvet Undergroundology, and The Face regarded the quintet as fabulous. Is This It proved to be pure, unadulterated New York City rock and roll, all grey pavement aggression wrapped in black leather and wraparound shades cool. The songs are finely crafted, faultless, fresh and concise, with a solid array of influences and enough originality to fend off accusations of plagiarism. To label it as a particular type of music or name-check its inspirations is churlish and actually belittles a truly classic debut. Honest, candid, unpretentious and disarming, Is This It is a wonderfully raw, organic statement of intent that virtually explodes from the first groove. Destined to become one of the best rock records out of New York of all time, it is all effortless, shoulder-shrugging cool, unguarded passion, lustful abandon, iconic cool and pristine confidence. The deceptively simple, nagging tunes lodge immediately in your consciousness and refuse to let go, splattering your soul with New York grime, cocksure arrogance, disarming vulnerability, and a refreshingly ramshackle punk rock charm. Head-snappingly brilliant, exuberant and trashy, it wears a hint of NYC attitude, art school cool and detached melancholy on its sleeve, recalling such masterworks as Television's Marquee Moon, Iggy's Lust for Life, and the Velvet's debut without ever straying into homage or theft. Filled with beautifully scuzzy songs about lust and growing up, and vocal hooks and guitar riffs that bounce around your head forever, this remarkable debut places the Strokes at the forefront of a new generation of rockers who are unafraid to mix the old with the new. Nearly half of Is This It consists of previously released compositions, but that hardly matters as the new material more than holds its own with the tried and tested music. The band combines raw power with infectious melody on Hard to Explain, develops a brooding introspective side on Alone Together and Trying Your Luck, and beguiles the listener with sheer sneering exuberance on Soma, Take It or Leave It, and Someday. They are able to make the well-worn themes of sex, drugs and rock and roll and the basic guitars, bass, drums lineup sound new, refreshed and interesting again. No mean feat in a climate where music is continuously dissected and pored over. The Strokes have patented an immediately identifiable flagship sound and style, a rhythmic snarl that encompasses 70s punk and new wave, but also recalls the 60s mods. Their songs are miniature novellas about chasing after some girls and running from others, about falling in and out of lust, about searching for freedom and thrills. The 11 songs that constitute Is This It fly by in a frenzy of barely 30 minutes, each piece tautly constructed, urgently delivered and precise in execution. Casablancas' winning combination of arrogance and vulnerability is best exemplified on cuts like Take It or Leave It, where he admits that girls lie too much, boys are too tough, enough is enough. Throughout the record, he laments the demise of relationships that fade but won't go away, often expounding energy on lyrics which are as oblique as Why Won't You Wear Your New Trench Coat, as they are unforgettable. Alone we stand, together we fall apart. Lyrically, most of the songs return to the ambiguities of relationships with women, the push and pull, and the often hideous entanglements one gets into. Laced with heartbreak, yearning, decadence and regret, these songs throb with effervescence, drama, turmoil and, at times, pain. Yet the music is unrelenting in its intensity, joy and reckless abandon. The band never plays a song from the conventional angle, with the choppy riffs and insistent drums recalling a Premier League soul band playing punk music. Hammond Jr. and Valenzi's interlocking rhythm guitar figures enable Fraiture to counterpoint the likes of Someday and Last Night with subtle bubbling bass lines which would easily grace the best 1960s soul 45s. Soma, based around a simple guitar hook and snappy drum beat which never relents, will be remembered long after the hype, whilst the unassailable terrace chant chorus of Someday sounds like a stone-cold classic from any time since the mid-60s to the present. Hard to Explain begins with an almost elementary drum loop, followed by another king-size guitar riff that nestles in your brain for days. But the highlight of the piece is the vocal hook of the chorus. Even the cover sleeve art, a delicious composite of Robert Mapplethorpe and Spinal Tap, with its black glove resting on a female buttock, was not so much homage as an artfully executed symbol of the album's musical audacity. In an age of mass cynicism, the Strokes were winning the hearts and souls of even the most jaded of commentators and pundits.